nobody stop before. Baby boy, I'm gonna stop you now.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Muphidaht and I'd like you to click down below to subscribe to my channel. There's been a trend going around on Instagram and TikTok where the girlies basically show you guys the steps they take in doing their makeup. So they go like primer, foundation, concealer, cream, blush, like that. Cause it's basically short form content. It's like super fast. So it inspired me to create this video. So it's basically going to be telling you guys the steps of the makeup process, but this is going to be a more detailed version of those type of videos. I hope I explained it better. I feel like I was all over the place. Anyways, if you want to see how this video goes down, carry on watching and let's get right into it. Okay, so I basically have done my skincare. So you want to make sure that you are doing your skincare. If you're going to be applying makeup, do not apply makeup on dry skin regardless of your skin type. If you have oily, dry, mature, acne prone, whatever your skin type is. I have combination skin. I feel like I've said this a million times on my channel, but I always make sure that I apply my skincare before I do my makeup. We're going to start off with eyebrows. I think doing the eyebrows is the best way to start your makeup off because one, you don't have a lot of products on your face for the eyebrow products to slip and slide on your face. Also, if you make a mistake on your eyebrows, it's going to be easier to clean up if you start with your eyebrows. Pro tip, if you have oily skin and your brows look shiny like mine, to make sure that the eyebrow product sticks to your eyebrow hairs, you want to just go in with a tissue and just wipe over your eyebrows so it takes off the excess oils, and then you can go in with a spoolie and brush through your eyebrow hairs just like so, and then you can go in and fill in the eyebrows. What I like to do is to go in just following my eyebrow shape. I first follow the shape at the bottom and then I follow the shape at the top. Then I just go in and fill in these sparse areas. Now my eyebrows are microbladed, so I'm just being extra doing my eyebrows. I feel like my eyebrows with makeup look different from my eyebrows without makeup, so I fill my eyebrows in regardless of the microblading. So this is how my eyebrows look now. So if you compare the two, this one looks fuller. And then I'm gonna go back in with a spoolie to spread out the eyebrow product. Just in case I created a few clumps through my eyebrow hairs, I can just disperse the product evenly through my eyebrow hairs so I don't have the clumpy eyebrow look. I like my eyebrows thick, so some of you might be wondering why I'm doing the most. I really do like my eyebrows thick, so that's why. I'm gonna go into my concealer. And then I'm going to blend the concealer in. Then I'm going to clean up the top as well. So when it comes to eyeshadow, you can either use an eyeshadow primer or a concealer to prime your eyelids so that whatever color you put on your eyelids pop, unless of course you're not going to be doing eyeshadow. So I think it's right to do your eyeshadow second after you do your eyebrows. Again, you can clean up when you mess up and it's just easier to do your eyeshadow if you don't have anything on your face to protect. So I'm going to prime with my Too Faced concealer in the shade Butterscotch. I'm going to use that to cover up all the discoloration on my eyelid. I'm going to use a sponge to blend this out. Next thing you want to do is to set the concealer down. If you use an eyeshadow primer, it sets by itself, so you don't have to use any powder, but with concealer you definitely have to set it down, otherwise it's going to crease. So just a light layer of powder to set that down, and we're going to move on to applying the eyeshadow. So I'm going to use this eyeshadow palette from Nuban Beauty. I'm just going to pull out some eyeshadow brushes. If you haven't seen my video on eyeshadow brushes and brushes in general, definitely check it out because I feel like it's a very useful video. So for eyeshadow, the base is basically like a blank canvas, so you can create whatever eyeshadow look you want. However, I'm going to do a simple eyeshadow look that is wearable and easy to achieve. So you want to go in with a neutral color that is flesh tone. Preferably you can use your bronzer or a brown shade in the crease so that any color you put on your eyelid would look good. It would just blend in seamlessly. And I'm gonna go into this shade called Ada, this shade right here. So you're going to use that in the crease, put it out here, and then blend it into the beginning part of your eyebrows, and you're just going to bring it out here like this. So you just go in and make sure that you're not picking up a lot of product. You want to slowly build up the eyeshadow in your crease. So it looks like this. So you see it gives like a really nice transition. This base is bland and here is like it's giving what it's supposed to get. So I'm going to blend here as well. So now that the crease is nicely blended in, you want to go in with a darker brown. I'm going to go into this shade called Uju. I'm going to stamp that on the outer V here, and I'm just going to bring it out like so. Just focus that color right here on the outer V. And then you can just bring what's remaining on the brush in here. So first off, you stamp that, and then you want to blend it in the outer V, and then drag it out just like so. And what's left on the brush, you want to just bring it in here like so. So at this point, you realize there's a clear space on the eyelid where you haven't put any eyeshadow. So you can put any color you want there. Now that you've created this basic eyeshadow base look, you can put any color, bright, matte, shimmery, any color. So I'm going to choose a bright color so that you see what I'm talking about. I'm going to use this bright shade. It's called Simi. I'm going to put that on my eyelid so you guys can see. Any color of choice. If you want to use a matte color, you can, but I'm just going to use this bright color. You want to tilt your head up and put the eyeshadow color where you feel your eyeball end on your eyelid. So it should look something like this. This is like a fake cut crease situation. I always do this. I don't go back in with concealer to cut my crease. I just use my eyeshadow to do that. Now that you have the color on your eyelid, you're going to go back into the brush and then go back into the darker brown and just put that into the end of the shimmer color so it looks spooky. Then you're gonna have your eyeshadow looking like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to line my lash line. You guys know the drill. Line as close to your lash line as possible. First, before you trim, you need to measure. How you measure your eyelashes, pick a mirror up and look down below and just try to place that on your lash line like so. If it's slightly longer, you want to trim it. Ideally, if you're going to trim your eyelash, you should trim it from the end where it's the most fluffiest and not from the beginning. Otherwise, you would have like loose hairs on it and it's going to poke in your inner corners and you're gonna have like an uncomfortable eyelash wear. But why I'm trimming the beginning here is that there's no hair attached to the eyelash there, so I'm going to trim that. So ideally you trim from the end. I want to show you guys at another angle. You see there's no hairs attached to this end, so that's why I'm going to trim just this bit right here. And I'm going to apply the lash glue on the lash band. This is the lash band, so I've applied the lash glue on the lash band and I'm going to put that down to dry down just a little bit. So we're going to move on to the next step, which is the face while the eyelashes are drying down. So you want to clean up any fallout here under your eyes so that you don't mess up your face. So we're gonna move on to primer. I'm liking this. I've been using it in all of my recent videos. So use a primer that works for your skin type. I have oily combination skin, so I use primers that are mattifying so that my makeup stays longer on my face and my oils do not break into my makeup and break it apart. So I'm just blending this into my skin. Also allow your primer to dry down when you apply it. Give it a minute or two to dry down. The next step is to color correct. If you have any discoloration on your face, especially under your eyes or dark spots like I have on my skin, you can use a color corrector. If your foundation is not full coverage enough, you can use a color corrector. I'm going to show you guys a few tips on how to use a color corrector. I got the Huda Beautiful Filter Corrector in the shade Papaya. This is way too orange for me, for my skin tone, but I still use it because I'm not going to be throwing this away anyways. You just need a little bit of this product, so I'm going to be applying that under my eyes because I have hyperpigmentation there, on my mustache area and below my chin, and just here and here a few dark spots. So I'm going to blend that out with a brush. Going to use this to blend it out, so it just neutralizes the dark spots on the skin. So if it's hyperpigmentation, so it's darker than your skin, the orange just kind of neutralizes that and it just makes your foundation look good on your skin. Definitely invest in a good color corrector. LA Pro has an amazing orange corrector. When it comes to redness, I don't experience redness, but I think the green correctors in lighter skin tones definitely addresses the redness on the skin. So this kind of neutralizes the hyperpigmentation on my skin. I'm going to allow the color corrector to dry down. If you don't have time to allow it to dry down, use a light layer of translucent powder or loose powder to set it down before you apply your foundation, so it doesn't mix with your foundation and you end up looking orange. So I'm going to apply my eyelashes. I'm going in with my tweezers and I'm going to grab, so it's gotten tacky, so I'm going to look down in my mirror like this. You need the middle parts to stick, and then you're going to put the end here. Then you're gonna go into this tool to squeeze the eyelashes together. The eyelashes are done and the color corrector is dried down, so I'm gonna move on to foundation. I always prefer to use a brush to blend out my foundation and most of the makeup on my face, just because brushes just give me a seamless blend. It's faster in my opinion, and it just gives me control over the product. So definitely use a sponge if that's what you're comfortable with. I use sponges as well, but brushes are my primary tools for blending out my makeup. This is the buffing brush from Real Techniques. Next step, cream bronzer. You can do cream contour or cream bronzer, whichever works for you. Bronzer essentially just has a little bit of warmth as compared to contour that is very cool toned. I'm going to use the Nars Laguna bronzer. I'm going to apply that here, bring that into my forehead. So you want to apply that here like a 3. So the forehead to the cheekbone, right on the cheekbone, and then you want to bring it down to the jawline and chin. The next step is cream blush. If you're not a cream blush girly, definitely skip. I'm going to use the Corrector cream blush. This is the shade Cheese Baked. This shade is no longer available on Sephora, but it's available on the Corrector website. Anyway, I'm going to use the cream bits, and I'm going to apply that here on the apples of my cheekbones. I'm going to blend that upwards. So we're going to move on to concealer. I'm going in with the One Size concealer in the shade Medium Dark 3. You're going to apply that here. And then I'm going to blend it out with my brush. Then in with a sponge just to blend it out some more. And then back in with a sponge to blend it out. At this point, you would have harsh lines on your face. So what you're going to do is to go back in with your brushes that you used previously. So I'm going to go in with my foundation brush, and I'm going to brush out any harsh lines. So I'm going to start off where I haven't put any other products but foundation, and I'm going over here as well. And then right here as well. And then in with the contour brush, I'm just going back. And then blush brush. I'm gonna set the concealer first with pressed powder. Before I do that, I'm going to iron out any creases. Setting it with a bright pressed powder, this one from Maybelline. Tapping off any excesses, and I'm going to push that here. You don't have to use a bright powder, you can just go straight into your translucent powder. Going in with my setting brush from Real Techniques. Then I'm going to set the bronzer. Now I'm going in with the Sephora Micro Smooth powder. I'm going to use that to set the foundation. So everywhere else I haven't put powder. If your foundation dries down matte, you can definitely skip this step, but I always suggest that you set your foundation because you never know when you sweat it off, or if your skin is too oily, or it's just best to set your foundation. I'm going to use my powder brush from Real Techniques and this. Baking, you are not going to push the powder in, you're going to just leave it on top, and it's just going to enhance and give you a longer wear out of your makeup. Personally, it gives me like a very flawless under eye. That's why I like baking. So yeah, baking. Now, finishing touches. I am going to tight line with a black eyeliner. And then I'm going back in with the brown I used on the lower lash line, and I'm going to use that to smoke out the black. It just pulls the entire eye look together. Then I'm going to just dust the excess powder off and blend the rest in. I'm back in with a powder brush to just blend in any harsh lines. And then we're going to set the powder blush. I like to use powder blush after I have wiped off my bake. I just do this as a last step just to make sure that the blush is still there. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So I'm going into the powder part of the Patrick Tar blush, and let me just show you. And then I'm going to set my face with setting sprays. So we're gonna move on to mascara. I'm going to apply that on my lower lash line. I always apply mascara after setting my face, just because you never know when your mascara is going to like run or like destroy your eye makeup. You don't want that. I also like to apply highlighter when I have set my face, just because it grips to the skin better and it just melts into my skin. So I'm using highlighter from Wet n Wild. I'm going to put that in here. The tip and the bridge of my nose, and then the high points of my cheekbones. And then I'm gonna do brow gel on my brows. If I didn't use brow gel before filling my brows in, I use it after I set my face. Now we're gonna move on to the lips. So we're going to be trying out this one. I'm so happy I got it just recently. Fenty Gloss Bomb Sticks and the Fenty Lip Liner. This is in the shade Browned Out. Oh, Traced Out. I thought I got browned out. Why does it come really? I got browned out, but then a browned out Fenty lip liner is in a traced out. Really? Oh my god. Anyway, I'm going to line my lips with that. And for the center, I'm going to use the shade Fenty Glow. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed filming this video. I would list everything that I used down below. And give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care. Bye.